Jim Belushi is no stranger to sharing heartfelt truths, but his latest revelation about his late brother, legendary comedian John Belushi, has struck a deeper emotional chord than usual. More than 4 decades after John's sudden passing at just 33 years old, Jim says the bond they shared hasn't disappeared. In fact, it still continues in a way he never expected. In a recent candid discussion, Jim opened up about the powerful and intimate dreams he has about John, dreams he describes not as memories but as visits. These moments, vividly real and often startling in their clarity, have become a comforting reminder that the brother he lost far too soon hasn't entirely left him. They're not just dreams, Jim explained. They're little visits. He shows up, he jokes around, sometimes he just looks at me. It feels like he's checking in. For fans of the Belushi brothers, known for their fiery chemistry, comedic genius, and occasional rivalry, Jim's admission is a touching glimpse into the lifelong connection they shared, one that transcends fame, tragedy, and even death. A bond cut short, but never broken. John Belushi's meteoric rise in the 1970s made him a household name. From his iconic roles on Saturday Night Live to beloved films like Animal House and The Blues Brothers, John embodied a raw, unfiltered comedic energy that would become the blueprint for countless performers after him. But behind the wild persona was a brother, mentor, and inspiration to Jim. Jim was just beginning his own rise in Hollywood when he lost John in 1982 to a drug overdose, a moment that shattered him and forever changed his perspective on life, family, and fame. "He wasn't just my brother," Jim has said in past interviews. "He was my hero." 4 decades later, that admiration hasn't faded, and neither, apparently, has the relationship. Inside the visits, what John says and is in Jim's dreams. Jim describes the dreams as surprisingly grounded. They're not surreal or symbolic. They feel like real interactions, ones he wishes he could have had in life after John passed away. "Sometimes we're backstage somewhere, getting ready to go on," Jim said. "He's in good spirits, laughing that big John laugh. Other times, we're just sitting quietly, no jokes, no performance. Just talking." One dream in particular stays with him. "I remember asking him, 'Where have you been?' And he just shrugged, like it was the most natural thing in the world, and said, 'I've been around.' That's it. Simple, but it meant everything." Jim said the dreams often come during transitional moments, times of stress, big decisions, or emotional upheaval. "It's like he knows when I need him," he explained. "He pops up when I'm going through something. I'll wake up and feel this peace, like he was really here." How losing John shaped Jim's career, and his heart. Jim Belushi has had his own long, successful path in Hollywood, TV hits like According to Jim, film roles, stage performances, and even a surprising later life turn as a cannabis farmer. But throughout it all, John has remained a constant force, both as inspiration and motivation. "Every time I'm on a set, every time I get a laugh, every time I feel that spark, I think of him," Jim said. "He made me believe I could do this." Their dynamic was complicated, too, competitive but loving, supportive but sometimes overwhelming. Jim looked up to John, while John occasionally pressured Jim to push harder. That complexity makes the dream visits bittersweet. "There's this feeling in the dreams that we're finishing conversations we never got to finish," Jim reflected. "Like closure, but ongoing." The science and spirituality of visitation dreams. Psychologists refer to dreams like Jim's as visitation dreams, often reported by people grieving a loved one. They tend to feel more vivid, more real, and more emotionally grounding than typical dreams. But Jim doesn't need science to explain them. "I don't know what it is, spirit, memory, the universe, whatever," he said. "I just know it feels real. And I don't question it." Fans who have followed the brothers' story for years can understand why these dreams matter so much. Jim has worked tirelessly to preserve John's legacy, from supporting documentaries to maintaining the Blues Brothers' legacy, but these dreams offer a private, personal connection that exists outside of public view. John's lasting legacy, and Jim's lifelong mission. John Belushi's impact on comedy is immeasurable. Generations of actors cite him as inspiration, and his characters remain deeply ingrained in American pop culture. But to Jim, the legacy is both global and intensely personal. "He was larger than life, but he was also just my brother who loved to make people laugh, and loved me," Jim said. Jim's mission has long been to protect and uplift John's memory, battling misconceptions, humanizing him, and reminding the world that beyond the fame was a real person with genuine heart, talent, and vulnerability. These dream visits, Jim says, feel like John's way of letting him know he approves. I feel lucky I still get to see him. Now in his 70s, Jim treasures these moments more than ever. It's been over 40 years, he reflected. You'd think the dreams would fade. But they don't. They've become part of how I keep him with me. Jim insists the dreams aren't painful. They're comforting, a reminder that love doesn't disappear. I feel lucky, he said quietly. Lucky I still get to see him. Lucky he still shows up. For Jim, John's presence in these dreams is a reminder that brotherhood endures, even across worlds. And for fans, it's a touching, human glimpse at the enduring love between two comedy icons whose bond, it seems, truly lasts forever.